Good morning. It was a great pleasure to be with you all at our kickoff of the B90 Masters class last night. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good subjects were brought up. We studied and talked about why we're reading the scriptures and why it's important. And indeed, it's very important. We're commanded to in the scriptures and by God, and it's beneficial for us. I don't know the difference between right and wrong and the best way to live. And we believe that everyone lives a better, fuller life um, when they're closer to God. And this is a great way to do that. A few things that we talked about last night that deserve a little bit further discussion. Holly brought up that 90 days is a pretty tight window to do the kind of study that we're talking about. But I think our goal should be to complete the course in 90 days. So the master's part of the class will definitely be in our discussion back and forth during those classroom times, but you need to stay on task and on schedule with your reading. Talking about reading, a couple of things that you're going to want to do, especially if this is your first time through this type of reading assignment, and it's a big deal. 12 pages a day for 89 or 90 days is a lot of reading, especially if you're not conditioned for it. So there are some things that can do, some habits that you can build that are going to help you. Number one is have a set time. And number two is have a set place, a set time. My set time is from about 5:30 to 6:15 in the morning. And in about 30 or 45 minutes, I can leisurely read through my Bible reading for the day. It does take, some mornings it takes all of 45 minutes. And some mornings it takes closer to 30. So, but having 45 minutes set aside is a pretty set period of time, whether you do it in the morning, noon, or night, or split it up 2 or 3 times during the day. Just be very regular about your reading schedule. Second is your place, whether it's your kitchen table, on your couch, on your back porch, at your desk at work, wherever you read, just make sure you do it in the same place as much as possible. I am taking on a little bit different feel for it this year. I am trying to do the Bible in 90 days on my Kindle app. So that makes even more important something that we got last night, which is our Bible in 90 days reading schedule. Very important to keep up with your reading. And for the master's class, of course, your notebook, so that you can jot down the things that you need to remember and themes and things for class and for further study or whatnot. I'm going to encourage you not to get too hung up. Again, I know last night I said study, Google, whatever, but don't go overboard. Just make sure you get your reading done. Don't get behind. It's so important to get your 12 pages in a day. It's okay to get ahead. Don't get behind. Don't get behind. Don't get behind. Don't get behind. Um, it helps me to have some very normal things around when I do my reading. I've always got my hot cup of coffee. Mm, that's good, and it's strong. Strong drink is good too, but it makes me sleepy when I'm doing my Bible reading. Also, if you have a Bible reading companion, some people have their wife or their kids or parents or friends that they like to read with. I like to read with my good buddy Eddie. Eddie, can you say hi, buddy? Eddie and I read together. He's a good companion. Mm. So I'd encourage you just to start your reading. This week you're going to hit Genesis and Exodus. Genesis, the great story of the beginning of time, the beginning of history. And then there's the rest of the story after Adam and Eve. You're going to get covenants, the Abrahamic covenant, God's covenant with Isaac and Joseph. And then there's a period of about 400 years of silence when the Israelites are in Egypt. And then, of course, you have the Exodus where they're delivered from that and the whole story there. So have a great time reading this week. It's very exciting, fast moving stuff. Don't forget to take notes in your notebook. God bless you. You're going to have a great time this week doing your reading.